Hi, this is Dhirendra. In today's video, we are going to discuss about why Shiva has third eye. We will narrate 4-5 stories which reflect the importance of Shiva's third eye and which are those situations where Shiva finally uses his third eye, opens his third eyes in order to show his characteristic as the god of creation, as the god of preservation of the universe, and as the god of destruction of evil. So before we do that, let me ask you 3 different questions. Did you know how Tripura is related to third eye? Do you know that Shiva had a son called Andhaka whom he killed? Do you know that Shiva left eye represents moon and his right eye represents sun? If you have the answers to these 3 questions, perhaps you have a better factual information than this video will have. But do watch this video in order to get a perspective on how these stories help us establish Shiva as the god of all gods. Those who don't know about those 3 questions, please do watch, because you need to understand or know different information about Shiva from his stories in order to establish his identity as the god of all gods. So let's begin the whole video. So the first story begins when Lord Shiva was meditating after the death of his wife Sati, who did the Sati process because she was unable to bear the mockery of Lord Shiva, so she felt it wise to die after jumping into the fire. Shiva goes on to do on the rampage and then start living a life of asceticism, and then goes into deep remorse, and then finally is into meditation. So he was meditating and he was in remorse, but by that time Parvati has already taken the birth, and then Kamadev wanted to use his skills in order to awaken Shiva. So he used one of his arrows in order to hit at Shiva. This arrow of Kamadev hit Shiva's third eye. He was in deep anguish. He opened the eyes and burned Kamadev into ashes. So what is that situation? What is the understanding of the whole scenario wherein the god Shiva, in deep meditation, some Brahman is trying to disturb him. He is agitated at it. He doesn't want to disturb his meditation, so he goes on with the meditation, but instead uses his third eye in order to destroy the disturbance. So what's the lesson out of it? Don't try to play with Shiva. Don't try to play with Shiva's emotions. Try to go against Shiva's wishes. That's the first story. The second story is when Narada challenges Parvati to close both the eyes of Shiva. Now Shiva already knows what is the intention of Narada, but he doesn't want to disrespect his wife Parvati's wishes, so he goes ahead and acts as if he doesn't know anything. From behind, Parvati comes and puts both her hand onto the left eye and the right eye of the Shiva. She didn't know that both these eyes are the sources of energy, sun and the moon, which actually derived its source from the eyes of Shiva. When both the eyes were closed from behind by Parvati's hand, the whole universe went into despair and went into darkness. Now God had to somehow protect the universe, so he had no other option but to use his third eye. He opened his third eye so that the beam of energy, beam of light can be given back to the universe so that it runs smoothly without any issues. So this story highlights how Shiva opened his third eye when needed. He wanted to protect the universe because there was no source of light after the closure of his eyes by the hand of Parvati. So he wanted to act as the protector of the universe, and hence he used his third eye to save the universe from destruction, from gloom, from darkness. Once Parvati has put both her hands onto Shiva's eyes, and when Shiva opened his third eye, there was too much of heat generated, as a result of which Parvati started perspiring, and that perspiration led to the birth of Andhaka. Andhaka was given to one of the Asuras, wherein he didn't know who were his parents. So later on, when he became adult, he was enamored by Parvati, wherein he didn't know that it was his mother. So Parvati sought the help of Lord Shiva. Shiva finally comes back and kills his own son, that is Andhaka. So this led to the killing of Andhaka. So what does the whole story reflect of Shiva? That opening of third eye leads to creation of many entities on the universe, which may be necessary or may not be necessary at that point of time, but Shiva takes care of all of them at the appropriate moment, at the opportune moment. There is another story of Tripurasura, wherein Tripurasura is powerful Asura who was the son of Tarakasura. He was so powerful that he was able to defeat all the gods and take the control of all the lokas, that means the earth, the heaven, and the patal, that is beneath the earth. So he has taken over the 3 cities of Tripura. These cities contain silver, gold, and the iron. The gods were defeated, they wanted some solution, so they went to meet Shiva. Lord Shiva said that it is a difficult task, but he will take care of it. There are 2 versions of the stories, that he seeks Vishnu's help, wherein Vishnu gives him Parashu Astra, which helps to destroy these cities. The other version of the story is like Shiva uses his third eye, opens his third eye, and that leaves a beam of energy, beam of light, beam of destruction, which finally kills Tripurasura as well as destroys all these 3 cities. Tripurasura's destruction by third eye is also one of the characteristics of the Dara. There is another story wherein the opening of the third eye finally led to creation of entity called Jaladhar. The story goes that Brihaspati and Indra were going on to meet Lord Shiva. They didn't know where Shiva was. So on the way they meet a hermit. The hermit was silent, who was blocking their path. Indra didn't know that this hermit was Shiva. So he started abusing that hermit. He didn't react. So Indra was so angry that he used his Vraja to kill that hermit. Once hermit sees that Indra is going to use his Vraja, he picks up that hand of Indra. Seeing the power of the hermit, Brihaspati recognizes that this is nobody else but Lord Shiva himself. So he requests him to forgive Indra, but by that time Shiva was so angry that he has already opened his third eye. In order to avoid the killing of Indra, he moves his third eye onto the ocean, and from there the Jaladhar is born. Later on, it seems that Jaladhar turns into an Asura who was finally killed by Shiva himself. His third eye to teach a lesson to one of the ignorant person. There is an individual who was the son of Dadhichi, whose bones were used by Indra to kill the demons. Now his son name was Pallada. So Pallada was actually the son of sage Dadhichi. As the sage was killed by Lord, so he was in deep agony. He went on to do a huge tapa, after which he was booned by Lord Shiva that he will be able to kill all the lords, whoever are there in the universe. So kill the gods, but on one condition, that he will kill them only by opening his third eye. And that too can be opened only by a difficult tapas. So that was the precondition which was given to him. So he went on to do all those tapasya, and finally when Shiva was happy, he gave him the boon. So when Pallada asked Shiva to use his third eye, suddenly from the third eye a demon jumps in and tries to kill Pallada himself. Out of curiosity and fear, Pallada asks why this demon is coming to kill him. Then Shiva goes on to explain to him that Pallada himself is one of the gods. He is himself one of the components of God, one of the elements of the God. So this way, Pallada recognizes his mistake of anxiety, his mistake of trying to seek revenge, his mistake of not knowing fully the whole situation, his ignorance. So the third eye usage and the creation of a demon who tries to kill Pallada himself teaches him a lesson to be aware of the full situation before doing any activity. So Pallada went on to use his time, use his energy just to pacify his own ego that he wanted to kill the gods, wherein he himself was one of the gods. Hope this story makes it relatable to understand the power of Shiva using his third eyes, which are those situations which make Shiva to open his third eye, to be the protector, to be the creator, to be the destroyer of the evil. Spiritually, Shiva's third eye has been said to mean a way to look inside, a way to do meditation, wherein you are not affected by the outside world. You are meditating, you are focusing the center of your forehead, where the third eye is also seen as a symbol of heightened perception and consciousness. And inner knowledge, it represents the ability to see beyond physical world and perceive the deeper meaning of life. Lord Shiva's third eye represents wisdom, inner peace. It represents intuition and enlightenment. The third eye symbolizes the transcendence of the materialistic temptations, the transcendence of moving from your material need to the spiritual need. The third eye also reflects the cyclical time wherein it is said that through his third eye, Shiva is able to watch past, present and future, and hence he is called Kal or Mahakal. Finally, third eye reflects cosmic energy. When Shiva opens his third eye, he can release a powerful beam of energy that can destroy anything on its path. Since God Shiva is always in deep meditation, because of his third eye, or Anjana Chakra is activated. The third eye is an indication of cosmic energy, knowledge of the immense yogic energy Shiva has attained due to continuous meditation. So hope this video has been useful to you in terms of information, stories, context, myths to help you a better understanding of Shiva as the God of all gods. Thank you for your time and patience.